Hello, everyone. Bill Adams, Coldwell Banker Realty. Joining us today is Toni Short, owner of Massages at the Beach House. Toni, welcome. Thanks for
Bill.
joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Why don't we start out by you telling us about your business?
Well, Massages at the Beach House. We are in my studio in Santan Valley. Um, we just do medical therapeutic massages, and a lot of people will ask me, "What's the difference?" Well, if you go to some of those chains, which I will not mention, I don't do that. I have clients that work there, so I won't put them down. But you're not going to get a in-depth massage, where every time you come in is going to be a little different depending on what you're going through. Like I have truckers that come to me, they have sciatica issues, they have shoulder issues. I have elderly people that can barely walk. If you look at my Facebook business page, you'll see a couple of my biggest accomplishments. I had a gentleman, still do. I've been seeing him for 2 years now, the longest I've been in business, and he had a stroke. And a year later, I had him on a 3-wheel bicycle.
Oh, wow.
2 years later, I had him on a stationary bicycle. And then there's another lady that had a very large scar that in a year later, it shrunk 2.5 inches on the side with massages, which a lot of people go, you can remove scars from massages. I'm like, yeah, because it makes new collagen, new skin underneath it, and it eventually will shrink it, even though people don't know that.
Oh, wow.
So I do a lot of breast cancer, because I'm certified in medical massage. So I do a lot of medical cancer, fibromyalgia, bone disintegration stuff, keep the muscles loose. And then also I do myotherapy, which is like the stretch labs, but you're going to get a massage before you get stretched versus just going and getting a stretch. It's called myotherapy, but I call it assisted yoga. So it helps people out with that.
Wow. Enlightening for me.
Yeah.
So how did you get into the business?
It's a long, short story, so I'll give you the mini version. My late husband couldn't walk from the front of our office to the back of our office for 13 years, so I was his physical therapist, myotherapist, mental health coach, whatever you want to call a wife, mother, everything else, until his suicide. So unfortunately, when he passed away, my kids were 9 and 16, and I was not able to make money the way I wanted to. So when my youngest went to college in 2020, during the pandemic, I went to massage school. And I actually am starting school September 5th, exactly 3 years from the day I wanted to quit school. Because I'm 49 years old at the time, and I'm going to school with a bunch of 20-year-olds. I'm like, I can't do this. And 3 years later, I'm going back to the same school.
Wow.
So
interesting. So, my next question, is, tell me about a memorable experience. You already touched on quite a few. Is there a particular experience you'd like to share with everyone?
There's a few mentors in my life, and Joel's one of them, from SWEHA, which is Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. It's easier to say SWEHA. He was the first person that actually believed in me of doing something. And then a lot of my clients will go, hey, how long have you been doing this? I go, I don't know. How long do you think I've been doing this? If they stalk me on Facebook, they know it's September 1st of 21. But most people say 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
And that's why I like it, because I have people that literally can't walk in. I had one the other day. I've massaged her 3 different times. She fell last week, slipped and hurt her leg. And then a couple of days later, she fell at the gas station because her leg gave out on her. And she showed up, and I go, I know this sounds silly. You're wearing shirts and a t-shirt. We're going to go sit in my hot tub. And we did aqua therapy for her. And that's the nice thing of having my own studio, is I can do aqua therapy. I can do massages. I do couple massages. You got a pampering of my massage chair.
Thank you very much.
But, I make everything accommodating for people. I mean, I even had a customer that his wife bought him an hour-and-a-half massage 2 years ago on a gift certificate for Christmas. He finally calls me, books. He goes, I can't handle an hour massage.
Mm-hmm.
Can I split it with my wife? I'm like, yeah, sure. And my rates are reasonable. I mean, we live around 5 different senior communities.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very reasonable. And since I travel the valley, if you're medically can't leave your house, I will drive to you. And those are the ones that I like the most, because if they can function in their day-to-day lives, but they can't get to me because they're wheelchair bound or they're just don't have time in the day, I go to them.
Yeah.
So it's easy. I mean, my farthest client was on 12th Street and Bethany Home Road, and I live in Santan.
Mm-hmm.
So
What do you find are your greatest challenges in running your business?
time management. Yeah, I have this nice calendar over here, which is a 3-month calendar for me, and trying to schedule, like, okay, people will call me. I had a lady call me last night, and she's like, do you have any availability for evenings? And I'm like, yeah, today. And she goes, do you have anything for tonight? And I looked at my husband at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I go, honey, I'm going back to work at 5. And he's like, what? I'm like, I got a client that wants to come in. It's like, I normally don't have same day availability, but yesterday I did.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's I want to help so many people that I can't say no.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. It's good income, but sometimes I just should say no, but I can't because I want to help so many people.
Yeah. So what do these people say about you? What do you hear coming back?
I have people, I've had a few people, because like this month I have 75 bookings, and I'm also going to be closed for a week.
Wow.
Next month I have 55 on the books. October I have 54 on the books, and those are people that are booked till January or May of next year. And then I have my snowbirds coming back in October that left in May. Mm-hmm. So most people, they look at my calendar, it's like, when's your next opening, before they even leave. And sometimes they're like, I want this time slot for the next year. Sure, here you go. I mean, and that's what it is. And that's when I get to the point where I know where I'm going without even looking at my calendar. Yeah. Because I'm seeing the exact same people, almost the same time frame. Sometimes it's a little earlier depending on what they got going on. But it's nice knowing that I'm always accepting new clients. I might not be able to get them in right away, but I'll always accept them, because there's going to be somebody, unfortunately, I've lost 3 out of my 5 cancer patients. But unfortunately, you know going into cancer and elderly care that you are going to lose them. Yeah. And that brings me to the class I'm taking. I'm actually taking end-of-life doula program, which everybody hears of a birthing doula, but nobody hears about an end-of-life doula. So an end-of-life doula is somebody that's bedridden, they get in the bed sores. We do lymphatic massage to keep that fluid down so they don't get the bed sores. And also we get it to where they're okay to let go. Yeah. And so that's the class I'm starting on September 5th. And then I'm doing an intuitive guide program starting September 15th. And that's still doing 55 massages a month. And the reason I'm doing those 2 classes is it takes my 34 years of being sober, and my recovery life, and my husband's suicide life, and that realm, and making it into my massage realm. So that way I'm not 2 different people anymore. It's bridging the 2.
Wow. So what motivates Toni?
Helping people. I would say money, but that motivates everybody, but that's not what I do this for. It's like I tell people, it's like, I don't do this for the money. Money's great, but I don't do it for that. I'd rather see people like my husband actually get the help they need. Because if you can't move and you're stuck in your house all the time, you don't get to see outside people unless you go to the doctors. Yeah. You don't get to function. I mean, I have people that go shopping and go on walks now. I had a lady that actually got carried down a mountain on a mule because she had plantar fasciitis so bad she couldn't even walk. And she came to me for like 4 months every 3 or 4 days, and now she goes hiking all the time and doesn't have any problems. But you got to find somebody that know it's not more of a knowledgeable thing. It's more intuitive of knowing what the body needs. And that's why I'm like, I can't do a full body massage on some people because they come to me, it's like their back is so tense that I'm like, I know you want an hour and a half massage. I might not even get to your legs.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have that conversation because it's like, what is your primary concern? When you go into those other places, or even some people do it, they do head to toe and toe to head, and they might not get your problem. You know, I have people that have scoliosis issues where they're hunchback, and I only do an hour shoulder work. That's it. They don't want lower back. They don't do anything. We just do upper shoulders. That's it. And so it's all customizable to whatever people need. So
wow. Well, it certainly sounds like you have an incredible passion for the business, and you're a very busy person, as demonstrated by your calendar. So, what do you do for Toni? What do you do for fun?
Toni likes to swim. Toni likes to horseback ride. I have 3 dogs, and my relaxation is actually my other business. It's short stays pet sitting and home sitter. So my relaxation time is when I get out of my own house and I go live at somebody else's house and binge watch TV. It sounds stupid, but it's so relaxing. Because I can't go, oh, I have to go change my calendar, or I have to go wash laundry, or I have to go I can actually just shut off the Toni brain, which is very hard with ADHD. So it's
well, it's good that you figured out how to do it.
Yes,
right?
That's why I have so many businesses. I even rent 3 rooms in my house, and I help my husband with his electrical business. So I'm constantly,
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking time
You're
to
very
spend with
welcome.
us today, Toni. Hey, folks, if you have a need that Toni can take care of, or just have questions about massage in general, feel free to reach out to Toni Short at Massages at the Beach House. This is Bill Adams, Coldwell Banker Realty.